What's up, everybody? This is Jeff, Irving Park Vinyl Review. Gonna do another contest here. Randy from Deadwax66. I swear he read my mind with this contest. I've been thinking about doing a local artists or bands video. So his contest is basically show artists or bands for the region where you live. So I've been thinking about doing that lately. I had a list of artists and bands that I wanted to show, and then I saw his contest idea. So I'm like, it's a perfect idea and perfect one to throw in with. So I'm going to do the contest, and I just wanted to say congratulations to Randy. I know you've been pining for 1,000 subs, so you could get your live stream up and going again. So I see you achieved that, so congratulations to that. I don't know if I mentioned it. If you don't know, I'm on Chicago's north side. Chicago is, one of the most famous and iconic music cities in the country, just for the blues alone. But a lot of great bands have been founded here, and I'd like to show a few of them. So let's get going. I'm going to start with an obvious one, Chicago. This is Chicago 3 from 1971. I think this is my favorite Chicago album. They just get really kind of experimental on this one. They were always kind of experimental, just putting out double albums, right out of the gate. But this is, it's got a lot of elements of funk and, some acoustic stuff on here, some, of course, jazz and pop were always part of their pantheon. But this is a really good album. Terry Kath, just such an underrated guitarist and vocalist, does a suite of songs called Hour in the Shower on this. It's fantastic. There's a lot of great stuff on here that you won't find on any comps or greatest hits collections. So these guys formed DePaul University in 66 or 67. And just one of the great pop bands of all time. Yeah, Chicago. All right, next one, the Crying Shames. There's a band that formed out in the west suburbs, Hinsdale, Illinois, I think, in like 64 or 65. This is their second album, Scratch in the Sky. This is kind of garage light with elements of psych. Very enjoyable album. I got this in a bargain bin for like $2, and I was familiar with their hit, a couple of their hits, Sugar and Spice, but was not familiar with this. But it's a really enjoyable listen. This came out in 67, and Crying Shames, good band. Next up, got Howlin' Wolf, just legendary Chicago blues. He came up to Chicago from Mississippi, I think, in the early 50s, and just one of the undisputed kings of Chicago blues. This is his first album. It's kind of an album of kind of a collection of sides that Chess put out, and just essential for any blues or rock fan. Just excellent stuff. Another blues, got some Muddy Waters. Also came up from Mississippi in the early 40s, and just went on to influence the rock and roll explosion that came shortly after. This is the only album I have by him. This is Hard Again from 77, with probably the best version of Manish Boy. You had Johnny Winter producing and screaming in the background, and Muddy. I mean, what the hell can you say about this guy, man? Just a true legend. Sam Cooke Came up, I think, as a toddler with his family in the early 30s to Chicago from Mississippi, I believe, again. This is Sam Cooke. It's a double LP on the RCA label. Yeah, just another icon that just needs no introduction or explanation, really. Just one of the finest voices in soul. I mean, fantastic stuff. Another icon of soul, Curtis Mayfield. He was born here, and everybody knows Curtis. I only have his first three solo albums. I've got to really dig deeper in his catalog and pick up some impression stuff from the 60s, but just essential stuff here. Superfly, just, I mean, amazing stuff. The Doors. I know they're not a Chicago band, but Ray Manzarek was born on the south side of Chicago. And I did actually live in LA briefly back in 2012. My ex-wife and I moved out there for only about 6 months. But so this album, I would say, qualifies with Ray being born here. And, you know, I lived in LA for a little bit. So, and I've always been a huge Doors fan, damn near 30 years now. So, yeah, the Doors. All right, I got some notable mentions also of some artists that were born here. Nils Lofgren. This is from '75. This is an underrated '70s gem. Really good album. Herbie Hancock, legendary jazz pianist, organist. Headhunter from, God, what year did this come out? I want to say 75. Yeah, I'm going to go with 75. Yeah, this is a funk jazz classic. Awesome record. Patti Smith is one of the undisputed badasses of rock and roll. Proto-punk pioneer. Next up, we got Warren Zevon. Excitable Boy, fantastic album. Also, Bad Luck, Streak, and Dancing School. It's a good one. And Paul Butterfield Blues Band. He was born here and also formed the band here with Bloomfield. So there's some notable artists that were born here. I got a few CDs too. Some more modern bands. Ministry, Psalm 69. Got a single, Jesus Built My Hot Rod. And Wilco, Yankee Hotel Foxtrot from 2002. And that's about it. Quick rundown of some Chicago artists for Randy's contest. Again, Randy, congratulations for getting your 1,000 subs. And that's it for me. Everybody take care. We'll see you around.